Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. I am back today with a brand new video. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And today, I have a really juicy video about a client success story. As always, some tips about manifesting. And then I really want to talk about how to stay on your manifestation, how to stay on the internal story, on the internal dialogue of what you want inside when things outside of you look like they're not lining up to that. So before I get started, all the links to booking one-on-one coaching and one-on-one hypnosis and one-on-one hypnosis affirmation sessions with me, as well as all of my pre-recorded courses and audios, are in the description box below. Super dandy to have it there. Okay, so let's get into this because I'm always noticing that there are themes with my clients. There are things people are going through. And then, of course, why wouldn't there be? There are themes in the manifestation communities and things get like buzzwords. Okay. So right now, I am noticing that so many of my clients, just like the client who wrote in her success story, are having a really difficult time understanding that their thoughts create, how to utilize everyone as you pushed out, and then how to think about things differently when other things are showing up in their outer reality. Okay. So remember that your thoughts create. It is the basis of the law of assumption and the law of belief. And that is how your mind works. Okay. The other thing that I've noticed with lots and lots of people, which is part of my journey too, I suppose, in a way, is that a lot of my clients and a lot of people were very versed on law of attraction. And now we're saying law of assumption. But remember, you want to think, am I really changing my assumptions? Am I really utilizing the law of assumption, which is changing my thoughts, because your thoughts create. What we don't want to do is be watching a bunch of videos and thinking, oh, I'm practicing law of assumption. And then you're thinking of the old story, thinking of the old thoughts, holding it in place, complaining about it, talking about it, thinking about it, overanalyzing it, and then not really even doing a mental diet. I have had so many first-time clients recently that I am saying, okay, are we doing a mental diet? Meaning, are we thinking new, beautiful thoughts of what you want? Are we having a new energetic diet? Are we feeling differently about what we want? And they're coming into the session saying, I'm practicing law of assumption. Remember, it doesn't matter, you guys, whether it is termed law of attraction, law of assumption, law of belief. It's how the mind works. Your mind is made up of internal systems, internal assumptions, internal beliefs that lead to your automatic thoughts. Your thoughts leads to an outer experience outside of you. That's all that's happening. It doesn't actually matter what we call it. Because remember, there are thousands of laws of the universe. Like, we're in a really, really cool experience as human beings. There's the law of gravity. There's the law of belief. There is the law of assumption that Neville Goddard talked about. There are so many spiritual unseen laws that hold the fabric of our universe together. So let's think of it in a more expansive way. Okay. Just saying. The term law of assumption is amazing. It's created a whole new wave of self-development and self-help for all of us. But we just want to be remembering how we change assumptions is changing thoughts. Okay. How we change what's going on is changing how we're looking at it. What's our perception? What are we thinking? And then what's the story, which I'm going to go into today. This success story is super short, so it won't take very long. Let me just find it. All right. Dear Alexis, thank you so much for your help along the way with my manifestation. I am so happy to say that I have been seeing so many changes in my outer reality because I have been consistently, diligently working on myself, changing my thoughts, changing who I am, and changing the story of my specific person and sticking to it no matter what happens. Going through with you all of the things that had happened between us, but creating more of what I want, not of a story about what had happened, and flipping thoughts has been a game changer for me. I feel so content. I feel so peaceful. I feel so harmonious. And most importantly, I feel so happy in my own skin. Thank you so much. I can't wait for our upcoming session XO. Okay, so this is a client who's on the way with a specific person manifesting change. She just wrote in that she was so happy about our sessions. And I thought, because she brought up the story, right, that I really want to talk today about how do we change the story. Now, remember that there is a story that has happened with the things that have happened before. Like, let's use just an example, right? That the story of the specific person is he or she has not been communicative. They've been kind of lackadaisical about text messages. They've been busy. They've been working. They've had things going on. They aren't ready for a relationship. They don't want commitment. They've had a past where they have exes, or they've been married before, and they also have blocks to commitment. I'm trying to like make this super juicy for us. Okay. Let's see. Oh, they also have had interest in like a couple other people at the same time that the person met them. Okay. Now, the person this is their specific person, right, can be flipping all the thoughts and changing all these things. Or the person who is the manifestor, who has chosen this specific person that I just mentioned, can create a new story that is just of what they want and stick to it, which might be a little bit easier. So like this client was going through that, okay? And she had, before doing sessions with me, she had done lots of manifestation work. She had done courses. She had done meditations. She was doing a mental diet kind of ad hoc here and there. So I said, okay, but like you're flipping all the thoughts of what this person has done and what you want them to do instead. That works. But I said something about it isn't resonating with you and it sounds super difficult. So what if we just create a new story of what you want within you and you stick to that like wildfire? Would that be easier, do you think? Would that feel more in balance? Would that like gel with you more? Okay. And she was like, okay, I hadn't thought about it like that. And I said, okay, well, let's just try it out. So she wrote in her success story and she's on the way to her manifestation, but such a good indicator is that she feels more harmonious. She feels more imbalanced because she is thinking, right? And she is holding on to what she wants instead of flipping back and forth between these are my affirmations and this is what my specific person happens to be doing. So like as a general sense, if we go back to the example that I had said before, if that person was a client of mine, I would say, okay, well, what do you really want? You want to think that relationships are easy. We are getting closer and closer. People in my reality, the people that I love to communicate with me. This is so easy. I am so amazing. I am so loved. I am so adored. I am so loved. I am so adored. Okay. And then therefore, by sticking to that story, because everyone is her pushed out, it would push out into her reality and her specific person, yes, would conform. So remember that what you're holding within you shoots out of you like fireworks, okay? And it shoots out. People feel it, people hear it. It's the unseen aspects of the fabrics of our universe, like I talked about earlier. And then that's how people conform to what you're thinking. That's how everyone is you pushed out pragmatically as like a hack. How it works is that everyone is a function of you. Everyone is functioning off of what you're thinking, what you're holding in you about life and living. So it just doesn't come down to specific person and what am I thinking about them specifically. It's what are my assumptions about how people treat me? What are my assumptions about relationships? What are my assumptions about them? If they're a man, what are my assumptions about men? Now, just another thing too, you can figure out your assumptions by hearing yourself, how you tell people things such as, oh gosh, he's not calling, Alexis, men have commitment issues. Men aren't good communicators. Women are better communicators. Women have to do everything. Or like a guy saying to me, women just like to have multiple partners, whatever it is. When I hear that from someone, I think, oh, okay, so they have a generalization, they have an assumption, because the realities that we live in are empty and meaningless. Nothing is set in stone. There isn't one thing for everybody. Like I've said in a bunch of videos, this lip balm in all different languages around the world can be called like thousands, hundreds of things, you guys. It does not have one meaning. Everything is like that. Take it or leave it, like it or don't like it. It's how things are set up. And it is how things collectively vibrate and energetically maneuver in our reality. They're empty and meaningless. We give them meaning. We give them a focus. We give them thoughts, and it shows up that way. It perpetuates it that way. We get more of that. Okay. So really, really, if this is you, if this speaks to you, I've gone all around the mulberry bush in this video, but if you've been doing a bunch of affirmations that are just the opposite with your SP, think about what's the story within me? Like maybe sit down, write it out. What's your dream story about how people treat you, how they treat you, how people are showing up for you, how they're showing up for you, how you feel, right? Remember, if we're living in the end of having something, we usually feel normal, natural, harmonious, incongruence about it. It's not this like big, huge thing we're walking around with day to day, you know? Like at one point, I was single and now I'm married. Now, to be honest, you guys, I'm not walking around every day shouting at the mountaintops, I am married. I'm Mrs. So-and-so. I am married. I'm just thinking, oh no, like I am married. I have a husband. Now I have a son who turns a year this month. So crazy. Where did the time go? But like, I'm not walking around thinking like, I do think sometimes, oh, wow, this is who I am now. This is my reality. This is what I've created. He's here, meaning the little person who is my son. If you're a parent out there, you get like, it's super weird to realize like, and as women, as a mom, I created him within me and now he's here. It's otherworldly. I have thoughts like that, but I'm not walking around like, oh my God, I'm married, I'm a mom. No, like I might, again, fluctuate there. But normally, naturally, we're moving through life. We're doing things. We're going to the grocery store. We're shopping. We're having time with family and friends, enjoying life's experiences, living life to its fullest. And we're moving through experiences. So remember, also, if you're living in the end, you would be there. It would be normal. It would be natural. The two of you would be doing life together. You'd be talking about things. You'd be planning trips, planning to have a family, whatever it is for you. So take it down a notch. Take it down a notch. And remember that living in the end is being in harmony with your manifestation, like it's already here, like you already have it, like it's just like a non-negotiable. That's who I am. For my story, I did a lot of that before we actually tied the knot. And when we had our wedding day for my husband and I was one of the best days of my life. It was exactly what I wanted. We had a very simple wedding ceremony. And at that day, it felt exciting and it felt amazing. But I had spent months already being married. I had spent months thinking, oh no, like this is who I am. This is what it is. This is who I am. This is what it is. And then now I'm married. Do you see what I'm saying? I intend this makes sense. Okay. But so as a practical matter for this video, takeaway, reevaluate where you're at with things. Are you doing a bunch of thought changing, which works, you guys, but I don't know. It can be a little bit of a lot to keep track of if you have a lot of thoughts about your SP that you don't like. Instead, how about you create them anew, create the new story of them, create the new story of you, create what you want and stick to it no matter what happens. 3D out there, it's old news, the things you don't like. We don't focus on them. We focus on the internal story, okay? All right, so if you want to work with me, all the information, like I said in the beginning of the video, is in the box below. My affirmation tracks are still on sale, so grab those while they're on sale. Might extend the sale for another month in the spirit of my son's birthday. Actually, that would be kind of fun. All right, you guys. So go out and make today awesome. Smile, celebrate. Think good thoughts about yourself. Think good thoughts about your specific person. Create that story. Stick to it. It's a game changer. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.